Hello everyone, I hope you're doing really well and thank you so much for joining me today in this video. Take a look behind me here and there are no prizes for guessing what time of year it is. It is autumn. So I'm quite excited. This is my first opportunity this year to get out and do some photography in autumn, try and capture some of these amazing colours. So I'm hoping to try and get some woodland shots today, just see what can come about as I explore. It's not always easy. It's quite overcast today. There's a lot going on all around me, but with some care and attention I'm sure I'll be able to find some sort of nice subjects to photograph in this woodland. The weather's been quite strange recently. It's overcast today, quite calm, but it's been very challenging weather the last couple of weeks, and I'll speak a little bit about that in the video later on, but for now let's head off and see what I can find. So the first image that I captured today, which you will already have seen by now, was taking in a much larger area of the landscape, some nice trees, autumnal colour and so on. But as I've been walking along, my attention has been grabbed by this small area just in front of me here in the water. It's possible to say this could be a Marmite shot. Some people may love it, some people may hate it. I'm not 100% sure how I will feel until I see the final result, but I definitely think it's worth taking. So if I walked on and went home and didn't take this shot, I would regret it. So I think it's definitely worth a try. What drew me to this scene is it has a little air of mystery. We have this reflection of this tree in the water, which I think looks quite atmospheric. The water is very dark, the reflection is very dark, but there's some nice highlights in the water from the lighter clouds reflecting in it. And of course we have these leaves floating on the water surface with some autumnal colour as well. Depending on the moment at which I take the image, it's going to have a different look, because I've seen the leaves slowly drift across the water as the breeze has picked up, and at other times it's flat calm and the leaves are quite stationary. So it looks quite mysterious. As you stand here, it looks like the reflection is miles away behind the leaves. So I definitely think it's one of these that's going to be worth taking a shot. So I'll get it framed up and show you the result in just a minute. It really is nice to be out today, although the weather so far hasn't been fantastic. It's been very low light, but it really is nice to be out and see all these autumn colours. I haven't had a chance to be out in autumn the last couple of years that often as much as I would like, so it's really nice to get to spend a few hours out today. And it's also refreshing to see so many leaves on these trees and so much colour, and the reason for that, the reason I'm feeling that way, is that the weather has been absolutely terrible here in the UK, at least in this area, the last couple of weeks, or even slightly longer. About 3 weeks ago there were severe winds. It was a very consistent round about 54, 52 miles per hour most of the time for a 48 hour period. There was a lot of flooding, roads were closed, a lot of damage to people's property and so on. And yeah, it was really difficult. Then we got a few days respite, maybe a week or so, and it's just ended a couple of days ago. There has been an even worse period of weather, a storm fairly consistent, around about 58, 59 miles per hour winds. Again, a lot of damage, a lot of flooding. I've seen so many trees, and I'm talking about really large, old, really sturdy pine trees have been toppled over, lots of silver birch and so on. So just a lot of damage, including to people's property, and unfortunately I've seen in the news quite a few people have died in rivers and so on. It's really been tragic. So the weather has just been terrible. So trying to look at things positively, it is nice to be out today, see so many leaves still on the trees because the wind has been so strong, and not really seeing too many signs of damage. So got to think of the positives and keep looking for another composition. So the sun is trying to break through for the first time today. It's off behind me and over my right shoulder. It's been very overcast for a couple of hours, and it's just made for quite poor light. It's actually been a bit too overcast even for woodland photography. However, it is trying to break through, and it's making this scene behind me look quite nice. It's been challenging because there's nice colour everywhere. But of course woodland photography is difficult. This is quite a compacted environment in terms of the trees being very close together. So no doubt a few of you watching, same as myself, will have taken a woodland photograph at some point, thought it looked nice to the eye, went home and been disappointed, and it would be very, very easy to do that today. However, I've been walking along and this tree caught my attention. I quite like its shape. I like the ferns beneath it, which have got autumn colour, and off in the distance there's quite a small silver birch with a really nice yellow colour in its leaves. And I'm playing with the idea, I think, of setting up a composition in which I use this tree to frame that one. Got lots of nice ferns and heather on the ground, and we've got lovely colour everywhere. Now today I'm shooting on my Fuji GFX 50S 2. And it's a medium format camera from Fujifilm. And I know before I even start to think about getting the camera out of the bag that I'm going to be set up quite close to this tree, and if I was to focus on this tree, even at say f16, there's going to be very little depth of field in terms of the background. I'll get this tree nice and sharp, the foreground a little bit past it, but the background will be quite soft. Now to some degree I would like the background a little bit soft anyway. I think that'll work fine, but probably to get the whole thing sharp, you've got to be very careful using a medium format camera. So I may have to close down the aperture to something like maybe f22 or even smaller to get sufficient depth of field, and I'm going to need to be very careful of where I focus. So lots to think about before I even take this shot, and yeah, I think it's definitely worth setting up. I'm going to do that and I will show you the final image. The sun seems to be fighting a losing battle with the clouds. It's trying hard, but I really think it's going to give up for today and the clouds are going to win. I think I've seen the most sunlight that I'm going to see today when I was taking my final image. So that's going to be it. I've really enjoyed walking around today. It's been quite uplifting to see all these nice colours. The photography has been fairly challenging, but hopefully I've captured a few nice images, and I do hope you have enjoyed watching as well. So thank you as always, I really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed your time, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one.